I think a lot of us knew this was coming. It's official, lads. Mbappe has told PSG that he is not staying. Fab, who really, rarely ever gets anything wrong. It's 100% over between Mbappe and PSG. Real Madrid are on it. PSG already have plans to replace Mbappe. I love this for football, but I hate the timing of it for football. I want to be 100% honest with you. I want to give you my first opinion on this, and my first opinion is from the PSG fans and the PSG as a club, the way they look at the situation. This is terrible timing from Mbappe. As a football fan, as a neutral, and as somebody who likes watching Madrid, I love it because I'm pretty sure he's going to Madrid. I think it's amazing for football. I think it's great for football. I think the timing of Mbappe is wrong. I think Mbappe should have done this after his team gets eliminated from the Champions League, if they get eliminated from the Champions League. I think it was important for Mbappe and for the locker room and for the players there, which probably already knew this was coming. But at the end of the day, I think it was important for him as a teammate, to Dembele, who just signed there, to, Vitinha and Marquinhos, and to all these players that he's been with for a while. I think that he could have given them and given the fans a little bit of, my focus is fully on PSG this year in the Champions League. And then once this is done and once we figure out what happens here, then we'll go from there. But I definitely think something like this could completely suck the energy out of that PSG locker room and whatever they have going on, right? They just got a big win in the Champions League. They have a lot going their way right now. I'm not saying they're going to win the Champions League, but you never know once you get to a certain stage. So for me, I think the timing of Mbappe is wrong. Now, as a football fan, I'm excited, right? It's a time where we can watch potentially Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, Rodrigo, and Mbappe play together, and there's still more. There's Valverde, there's Endrick, the list goes on, right? Let's talk about it not from Madrid. Let's talk about it for football. If I'm other teams, what's important? If I'm Man City, I'm doing everything to make sure Guardiola stays many years, in my opinion. I think you need him to stay. In my opinion, you need to make sure you lock up Haaland. You got to find a way to make sure Haaland stays. Because if you want to compete against Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and Jude Bellingham for years to come, you need him. You need Haaland. So you need to find a way to lock up Haaland. You have to. You have to make sure that Haaland is on 100% long-term, not really going to go anywhere. Honestly, if I see Haaland ever leaving City, I think the only place that he could land at this point, if Mbappe's playing the 9 at Madrid, is Barca. I don't know if he would go there at the moment. And I don't know if Barca have the money to do something like that. So at the end of the day, in my opinion, if you're City, you need to make sure you lock up Haaland, make sure you lock up Guardiola for a few more years, and you need to find who's going to be the person that takes Kevin De Bruyne's spot. And you don't need just a regular person; you need a real good player, someone like a Musiala and stuff. But Bayern probably won't let him go. So it's important for teams around the world to really start to understand what Real Madrid are building here. Real Madrid are building. If you thought City was the super team, it's about to change. Madrid's going to be the super team. And anyone who says no, you probably haven't watched a lot of football. Mbappe is probably the best player in the world right now, right? Like, a lot of people can argue no and be like, that's crazy. But the truth is Mbappe is unbelievable. When you put Mbappe with Jude Bellingham behind him and Rodrigo to the side of him and Vinicius Jr., who can create a lot of space, you are creating a mega team. Who knows what's going to happen with that back line? You obviously have Eder Militao. You'll have to replace Carvajal eventually, but Alphonso Davies could be coming in. So when you look at it as a Real Madrid fan, you understand what's happening here. You really do. There's something I want to show you too. Real Madrid could get Mbappe for 0. They got Valverde for 5. They got a goalkeeper for 8 million. They got Camavinga for only 30. They got my boy AG for 30. They got Endrick for 35. They got Vinicius for 45. They got Rodrigo for 45. They got Eder Militao for 50. They got Tchouamani for 80. They got Jude Bellingham for 100. Outside of Tchouamani and outside of Jude Bellingham, you really need to understand that the Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. at only 45 million, right? And they're like for sure starters, is crazy. Right? Then you have Endrick, where we don't know where that's going to go yet. We also don't know where AG is going to go. But Camavinga's been a pretty strong person in this team for only 30 million. And Valverde's been a massive person in this team for just 5 million. This is wild from Florentino. Like, you can't even, when you start looking at how he's building this team out, potentially 45 million for Vinny, 45 for Rodrigo, 50 for Eder Militao. That's a lot for a center back, but still only 50. 30 for Camavinga. Most of their starters are under 50 million. Then you get to the Tchouamani and the Jude Bellingham, where those are a lot more expensive, but they have a lot of pieces that are amazing in this team that weren't expensive. So you got to take your hat off to Florentino and say, wow, that's incredible, because they are building a mega team and a super team, and they didn't do it with spending 100 million on every player, which is wild in modern football to be able to do this. And when I look at the Valverde move, the only move that I can think of as impressive is Barca with Pedri, because they barely paid anything for Pedri. That wasn't I think it was 6 million or something for Pedri, maybe less. That's an unbelievable move. So at the end of the day, when I look at the Pedri and the Valverde move, I take my hat off to Barcelona. I take my hat off to Real Madrid, because those are two signings that I don't think will ever be matched again. I could be wrong. But those are huge. And then you just look at the rest of it, and it's just wild, man. Florentino really has, like I said, he rocked the world, bro. He's rocked the world with this. This is incredible, in my opinion. And if he gets Mbappe on free, that's just wild. Now, at the end of the day, lads, when you go back to Real Madrid, there's still things you're going to have to fix. Like I said, eventually you're going to need to replace Rudiger and David Alaba because ages and stuff like that. But at the moment, you're fine. Carvajal, definitely you got to start looking into that because he's getting older. But Real Madrid is scary. So for the world of football, like I said, lock up Haaland, lock up Guardiola, find yourself the next Kevin De Bruyne for when he's out of here. Musiala, like I said, is one. There's a lot of good players out there, man. You just got to find them. But then let's talk about Barcelona, because we can't talk about Madrid without talking about Barcelona. How do Barcelona go forward, right? And the truth is, I think Barcelona just have to get back to what they are, their identity. Their identity is before the Neymar signing, before the Felipe Coutinho signing, before all those crazy signings, Barcelona found players through their academy. They put a lot of belief in the players in their academy. And then once they found the academy players, they went and got some studs around. And I think right now, Barcelona needs that more than ever, right? With Gavi, with Pedri, which is already amazing. Balde, you have awesome players. Araujo's amazing. They have a lot of great pieces, but they're going to need the player that puts them over the top, right? And Mbappe's about to be the player. Mbappe, Jude Bellingham is going to put Real Madrid over the top. And I think Barca's going to need that. How are they going to find that? I'm not sure. But I think it's going to come. Barcelona will always be Barcelona. I need people to understand that. Like, even when Madrid had the craziest team of Zidane and Madrid and Figo and all those craziness, Barca was right there doing their thing. That's always going to be. Barca will always do their thing. It's facts. Let's just be honest. Real Madrid and Barca fans can hate each other, but they need each other. These two teams will always need each other, because without one or the other, the La Liga is really dead. So I think Barcelona will be fine. I think going forward, they really just gotta focus on what their DNA is. I do want to talk about one thing. And look, people are comparing other teams and stuff like that. It's crazy. It's crazy how Madrid's done this. But people want to talk about something, okay? I want to talk about something. I am a little bit annoyed and sick of the disrespect that people give Rodrigo. I need people to understand that Rodrigo is a massive part of why Madrid got Champions Leagues. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know how you can forget the header he scored. I like the disrespect to Rodrigo. People all of a sudden think because Mbappe's coming to just drop Rodrigo. And I think that's crazy. When you paid $45 million for a young Brazilian that's absolutely amazing and has won you massive things, I think people need to put way more respect on Rodrigo. Is he as good as Vinny? No. But is he a certified, qualified Real Madrid player? 100%. This guy is an outstanding player, and I think Madrid is stupid if they sell him or move on from him. I think it's dumb. And if they do want to move him, I think Man City should be on top of this move quicker than anybody else, because Rodrigo is a stud, and anybody who shows this guy disrespect, in my opinion, I don't mean to be mean to you, you do not know how to watch football. Because Rodrigo, when Vinny's injured, when Jude's injured, Rodrigo's always there doing his thing, bro. Rodrigo's always there. When Vinny wasn't there, who was stepping up? Rodrigo turned into, he turned into the man. So I don't know why people are disrespecting this Brazilian like he ain't him. He's him. Is he Jude? Is he Vinny? You don't gotta be Jude. You ain't gotta be Vinny. You got to be an amazing support player, and you got to be an amazing player that steps up when other players aren't playing good or aren't there. And that's what Rodrigo gives them. And he also steps up in clutch moments. Like I said, an important part of their run in the Champions League, the one they won, he was there. So all I'm saying to you is put respect on Rodrigo's name. Anyone that's out here thinking that Rodrigo ain't him, that's crazy. So I think that most points I want to get out this video is this. Rodrigo should get more respect. Mbappe's timing should have been better. Should have been a little bit more respectful to PSG and the fans, in my opinion. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. I think he should have done it when they got eliminated from the Champions League or maybe at the end of the season. Either way, it is what it is. Hat off to Florentino and what they've done with the moves they've made and how much money they spent. Congratulations to them. And I think for football, it's just about teams getting back to what they do. Barca needs to get back to what they are, and that's just finding their DNA, and I think the rest will fall into place for them. They've always been an amazing team, and they're going to continue to be an amazing team if Mbappe goes to Madrid, and they'll continue to win things. I promise you that. And then for Guardiola and Holland, City got to do whatever they can do to lock those guys up because they're going to need them in the long run, and they're going to need to find more players to go around them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's my reaction of Mbappe going to Real Madrid potentially, but my reaction to Mbappe leaving PSG for now. I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And let me know in the comments down below how you feel about it, man. Do you think the timing was right? Do you think timing was wrong? Madrid fans, are you happy? Barca fans, are you scared? Let me know how you guys feel, man. I would love to get in the conversation, the comments down below, and be able to see what you guys are thinking. I love you guys. I will catch you soon. Booyah.